Greetings, Commanders. Director Dick Fury here. We're going to talk about the top 10 characters in Marvel Strike Force for the month of September 2024. Before we get into it, I got to give a big shout out to everyone that came out to last month's video and liked the video, but we're going to get into it right now. All right, step into my basement, and this is my house. And when you step into my house, be sure you take your shoes off. And you know this is going to be the only list you could ever need, because not only am I Dick Fury, I'm wearing, that's right, camo cargo shirts with a Baby Yoda t-shirt because I'm the best. Now let's get into the top 10 list. Easily for me on the top of this list is going to be Mephisto. And we're going to talk a lot about Odin in this video, which has not been out for a long time, but Odin is creating disruptions all throughout the game. A lot of people are going to say, why isn't Odin on the top of the list? And that has to do for me that Mephisto holds on defense, and it takes a very, very strong character to hold on defense, while largely you've not been using Mephisto on offense. Odin seems to be a more offensive character, and that is fine. But the real magic on Mephisto is in Alliance War and Cosmic Crucible, where if you want to get through them, a lot of times you're going to have to double sack to get the double exposed. That way on the third attack, you can wipe out the team. It's going to be a trick. Now, people that have Odin probably can one-tap it. And that creates for a really horrible dynamic right now in Cosmic Crucible. The first one being, if you have Mephisto and they don't, you're probably going to win. The other situation is going to be if they have Odin and you don't have Odin, they're going to be able to one-tap your Mephisto, where you're probably going to have to double-tap their Mephisto, and you're probably going to lose the Crucible because of that. So for that reason, Mephisto is absolutely the best character in the game. Odin's up there for sure. We'll talk more about Odin at the end. Now, I just wanted to personally invite you to come join me in my journey with Raid Shadow Legends. Making a ton of videos on my other channel, making videos with Cat, Swid Princess, and Chris, Arnold T101. Be sure to use the link in the description or the QR code. And then immediately after doing that, you're going to want to watch my beginner's guide video for the first 24 hours so you can enter the promo code to get one of the best legendary characters for free, Sun Wukong. Then, as long as you log into the game for 7 days, you will get another legendary character, Loki the Deceiver. You got to do that before October 23rd. More importantly than that, if you play the game for 14 days, you will also get the red stars on Loki the Deceiver, which is absolutely amazing because then you can install the legendary Brimstone Blessing. You're going to want to do that because it does max HP damage, which is amazing damage against the Demon Lord boss. It does like 250,000 damage, which was over the top good. The best thing that I like about Raid Shadow Legends is there's almost endless ways of upgrading your characters with artifacts and masteries and abilities and glyphs. The list goes on and long. There is so much depth to Raid Shadow Legends. And my second favorite thing that I like about Raid Shadow Legends is that there is actual PvE content, endless of stuff to do that is engaging and fun. Why can't all games do that? So 3 things. Download Raid Shadow Legends today. Link in the description, or use my QR code in the screen and you'll get Tayrel for free. And after you get to level 25, you'll also get the super epic character Rector Drath, who's the best. And secondly, come and follow me on my Raid Shadow Legends channel, Mobile Gamer, where you'll see tons of great videos. You're going to want to check out the free codes now one first. And then lastly, head into the game once you get to level 13 and join my alliance, 1ATB, for I am the best. All that free stuff will be waiting for you right there. And I'll see you there. I really only had 8 characters in this list. I think we're going to do like 14 or 12 characters. I don't know. I can't count. Numbers don't matter that much, but there's some characters that I put on this list just because the team is very good. For example, I put Lady Deathstrike here, not because Lady Deathstrike herself Wow, he's got these really sexy nails. Hi, how you do? How do you shake people's hands? How do you wipe with those nails? Oh my God. Anyways, Lady Deathstrike does insane amounts of damage. I've got her over 1,000,000 power. 1,000,000 power characters are here in Marvel Strike Force. Who would have ever thought that we would get to a day where we'd have 1,000,000 power characters? So, Orcus team, of course, is a raid team. Already seeing tons of use in Cosmic Crucible and Alliance War. Now, I do think the Orcus team is most likely going to be a strong offensive team on offense for a long time, because I think that summons are somewhat problematic on defense because of characters like Kestrel or characters like Carnage and Carnage passive. So, in a lot of ways, the summons situation has been in the game for a long time in Marvel Strike Force, and we have solutions to that. That being said, this team came out after Ares and has the monstrous power creep, the 30% extra stats, so do not sleep on this team. They're also very good on raids. Now, other thing I want to say about this team is a lot of people are choosing to skip Omega Sentinel because this team does work with Mysterio. Absolutely does work with Mysterio. Or in other situations, Doom, but not necessarily in the raids. So I didn't skip Omega Sentinel, but I know a lot of people are thinking about it. So I just wanted to put Lady Deathstrike on this list. Not necessarily that she's a top 10 character, but I just wanted to talk about the team. Now, let's get back to top 10 characters. We talked about Mephisto. Now, we get to talk about Apocalypse. And boy, you're a tall, thick boy. Screw you. I love doing that whenever he does his super basic, which I'm in total love with right now. Here's why. One of the other characters on this list is going to be Endgame Thanos. The thing that I absolutely love to do the most is to do Apocalypse Ultimate and then go into the super basic and do the super basic right into Endgame Thanos, and that bypasses his 50% threshold for his passive going off. And the reason for that is his super basic is 60% health steal or 60% damage. I don't know, but it goes through it, and the passive on Thanos doesn't trigger. And that passive on Thanos is super powerful because it oftentimes eliminates all the positive effects on my team when I'm attacking into the Thanos and gets rid of the safeguard. So being able to delete a character potentially with a super basic, or at a minimum, because it doesn't typically delete like the Annihilators because it just doesn't do enough damage, but it at least gets through the 50% threshold so I can move through the game. There's so many cool things about Apocalypse, and I just got to say, DD5 character, a lot of people are getting him as early as 90 days. Someone messaged me and said they got Apocalypse unlocked in 50 days. On my account, I was able to do it in 100 days. Easily a top 10 character. Let's keep going on the list. And here's another one. Peter Parker. I like the Spider Society team. And this is not about Peter Parker because her animations are so annoying. They're so slow and it takes forever. And he's the most annoying character on defense because of his passive. And the team is healing and healing and healing and healing beyond annoying. So I just want to put that out there that it's super challenging. Now, this is not about Peter B. Parker. This is about the Spider Society team. Good in raids, good in Crucible, good in Alliance War. I will say this, though. In Alliance War right now, Spider people are getting massive amounts of bonuses for this season of Alliance War, and I'm not sure how strong Spider Society is going to be going forward when that is removed. Same thing's true with Infestation because Big Time Spider-Man's on that team. So just keep that in mind that all of the Spider bonuses that are associated with Alliance War are seasonal, and they may be going away at some time in the future. So not necessarily a top 10 character, but the team is worth mentioning. Super Skrull is the best. Oh my God, this guy easily makes the list. DD6 character. The reason why Super Skrull is so powerful is because of his passive, and he gets all kinds of turn meter all the time, and he does really fun things with Expose and synergize as well with Endgame Thanos and Mephisto. However, that's also the way to counter him. If you can get some sort of mechanic out there that prevents him from getting turn meter, which would be like Cabal, or inside of Crucible could be Captain Britain. Or if Mephisto's out there and Mephisto puts exposed on him, which he does a great job of doing that, by the way, Super Skrull's not as good. That being said, still makes a top 10 character. There are ways to counter him for sure, but he easily makes the list. Now, here's another character that is not about being on the list themselves. Hank Pym is not a top 10 character, but the team is worth talking about. The Illuminati. Absolutely crushing it right now in Crucible. That's what they're designed for Crucible, and also in Alliance War. Now, the one thing that is beyond annoying is Captain Britain. And I didn't put Captain Britain here because I didn't want to talk about Captain Britain, because Captain Britain is pay to play. It's trash. Everybody hates it, except for the people that have Captain Britain. Here's the thing, though. You can use Iron Man, yeah, and it's a very, very strong team inside of Crucible with Iron Man. I think that's great. But it's even better with Captain Britain, because Captain Britain's passive shuts down that turn meter and shuts down characters like Super Skrull. Like it's nothing. This is a good team. Also good in Alliance War. Also taking them into Dark Dimension 8 because I think they're super strong. Let's keep going. Old Man Logan is the best. Now, Old Man Logan has proved to be one of the most powerful, over-the-top good characters that I've seen in this game in a long time. My goodness, when he does a special, he gets revive. And he could do that over and over again. He can get killed, come back, get revive. He has tons of healing. Then when he does his ultimate, not only does he throw trauma everywhere and hits the whole board, then he gets claws out and all of his attacks do more stuff. The only reason why that Old Man Logan's not being used in the arena today is because of Gore shutting down assists in arena. And I gotta tell you, if I see somebody in arena that's not running Gore, Old Man Logan goes immediately in and just wipes their team. This guy can destroy Super Skrull teams. His specialty is inside of Alliance War. And my goodness, Mercs for Money can blow up almost any team in Alliance War. He can even be slotted into with Extreme and just wreck nerds in raids. Very useful inside of Cosmic Crucible. At one point in time, I was saying that he might be the second best character in the game. But for me right now, I think he's in the same vein as Super Skrull and Apocalypse. It's like those three, Old Man Logan, Super Skrull, and Apocalypse, are all really, 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 really good. Next on the list is going to be Black Knight. Now, Black Knight is a pre-taunting tank that does stuff. And my goodness, he does a lot of really cool things. I don't know what, it's not a counter attack because it's a part of his passive, but it's like a retaliation attack, which is super powerful with charges. Now, there's a ton of ways of getting through his charges right now, and absolutely still makes him a top 10 character, but this guy is not undefeated or unbeatable. Now, the one thing I also want kind of makes me a little sad is that ever since Ares, they're going through massive power creep in this game and massive stat boosts. His characters are like 30% stronger. Like my lady Deathstrike has 1 million power, but every character since Ares is super strong. And that's why I think Orcus is on the list. That's why I think Annihilator's on the list. I think why Ares not on the list, but is a very good character in Alliance War for sure. Makes me a little bit sad because Black Knight was before that. And if Black Knight had those boosted stats, oh lordy, still a very good character, easily still top 10. But not as strong as he was a couple months ago. There's been some power creep and there's been some counters to Black Knight brought to the game. Next is Void Knight, and this is not about Void Knight, even though I think Void Knight is the best Hive Mind character and has a lot of plug and play options. But I just wanted to say that I think Hive Mind, specifically Void Knight, when paired up with Carnage and also Red Goblin, create that three-piece of them is quite good and has multiple uses, not only in raids, but in Alliance War and Crucible. And to a lesser extent, Void Knight does some cool things. Very fast on spawn. He gets 25% extra turn meter on spawn, which makes him like 141 speed. And then he can do the clump together thing like Magneto and put a ability block, and it has high focus. Love this guy. But I don't know if he's a top 10 character. Let's keep going. Endgame Thanos. Boy, this guy easily makes the list, and the reason why is his ability to get rid of Safeguard. The second reason is because he's so tall. Look how tall this guy is. Until I used this setup, I really didn't know how tall the characters were. I don't know if you noticed at the beginning of the video how like Lady Deathstrike, and then this guy's a giant. Oh my goodness. I wonder how Hulk looks in here. Maybe we'll do that in another time. But for now, anyways, the ability to remove Safeguard through his ultimate and his passive when he drops below 50%, which is also why now I like Apocalypse a lot more, because his super base, it goes through that and does not trigger the passive, which is amazing. Also, he has Exposed, which makes him synergize insanely well with Mephisto and Super Skrull and so on. And he is a battery. His Exposed mechanic is very similar to a battery. This guy easily makes the list, as well as his friend, not Superman. You're not Superman because you have a stupid mohawk. Oh, Gladiator. Gladiator, boy, this guy's strong. Absolutely. Pre-taunting tank with Safeguard and immunity and defense up. Power crept to the moon because he came out after Ares. This guy's over the top good. Just by that alone right there makes him very strong, but it gets better when he's paired up with 2 other Annihilators and his health is above 50%. You're not going to land Exposed or Vulnerables. This guy inside of the Mystic section of raids can sit there the whole time and tank damage and damage and damage and Mephisto and Vol ulting and all of that stuff, and he just doesn't care. This guy is super, super strong. Absolutely makes the list. Endgame Thanos and Gladiator of the Annihilator team make the list. Not on this list, but somewhat useful. It's going to be Gore and Ultimus. And then Silver Surfer's not, other than his stats. But anyways, you guys know the drill. This guy's easily a top 10 character. This guy has been beyond impressive. Pre-taunting tanks in this game seem to have a longer shelf life than other characters. So Gladiator, pre-taunting tank, and so is Black Knight. Next is Odin. And lastly, this is where we're going to end the video, is on Odin. Have and have not. So the game has had situations with characters like Odin. When Mephisto came out, you either had him or you didn't. And that largely determined whether or not you won your Crucible, whether or not you could move up inside of the arena. And the number that your alliance had quite often determined whether or not your alliance won or lost the war, was how many Mephistos they have. Odin is going to be the same, because Odin on defense with Mephisto in arena means you're not getting through him even if you have Mephisto. If you're playing inside of Alliance War and somebody puts Mephisto on defense, you can run in there, Odin plus, let's say, nowhere, and one tap it. Now, there's going to be some changes to that. Like, I hear some rumors that if you do Mephisto plus Orcus, the Odin team can't. But, you could also throw other characters in there to make it happen. But Odin is very, very strong on offense, and I'm absolutely going to be losing Cosmic Crucible to my opponents that have Odin, because they are able to take Odin on offense and one tap my Mephisto, where when I play against their Mephisto, quite often I'm not going to be able to one tap it. I'm going to have to double tap it to get the double exhausted and then kill Mephisto's team on the third attack, which means I lose. And before you go, be sure to download Raid Shadow Legends using my QR code or the link in the description to get all this free stuff and join my clan. Is he stronger than Mephisto? I don't know. I think Odin is the second strongest character in the game. That's my opinion for now. It's my house. Got my eye on you. But I think Mephisto is the strongest character in the game, and Odin is in a close second for sure. What do you think? Who did I miss on this list? Who would you put on the top 10 list? Put it down in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye for now.